Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess. Today we are at the last lesson of our topic of understanding the world champions. We'll continue with this topic where we had started before, but for the time being this is a 5-game series and let's go into the game quickly. In today's game both the players are world champions and they play in their opposing styles actually. Let us see what it's all about. Game starts with an English opening and then goes into Nimzo Indian. So c4 and f6 and c3 e6. White goes d4 allowing bb4. So at this time Nimzo Indian was very popular and black's idea is to double white's pawns on c3. Let's see, white goes a3, goes in for the main line, so called the sandwich variation. White plays f3 zone and e4. White gets a strong center against those doubled pawns. Black wants to exploit these doubled pawns with b6 and then bishop comes to a6, knight c6, knight a5, pressurizing c4. As I said, white went with the move f3, black goes ba6 and white goes e4. White is allowed to get a center and black wants to attack it. This is what all hyper-modern games were all about. The King's Indian, Nimzo Indian, these openings are all about allowing the center and then forcibly break it down. Here like black goes with the move d5. White is getting a good center, so he is ready to get his castle broken after cd5, bf1, kf1, e takes d5. Very important gesture here. White wants to decide what kind of play he wants. See, if he wants to make position sharp, he should allow d takes e4. So for that he can go with the move bg5 as played in the game. If white goes e5, instantly attacking the knight, forcing it to go away to let's say d7. Even knight g8 is interesting. But see, after f4, c5, and f3 and c6, queen d3, see, trying to use the f5 square. White will soon want to play f5. See, black can play f6. Play is very sharp. Soon cd, rook c8 will be there and it's not very clear how the game would happen. Although I think white may have some edge here, but black has his own play. So white went bg5, making the position more sharp. White plays bg5. Now the threat is bf6, queen f6, e takes d5 or e5 in some cases. So h6 attacking the bishop and now white plays queen a4 check. Good move. Maybe bh4 was also good, but the point of bh4, then there will be g5 followed by d takes e4, winning the pawn on e4. Very interesting lines are there. Let's see what is the point of queen a4. Somehow I felt that black should have played the move qd7 here, after which queen takes, f knight takes and black goes c5. This play I think is very interesting. See, bh4, d takes e4, f takes e4 and castle. Now the next move will be see, after nf3 c5, and whichever pawn white moves, if d5 he plays, then e5 becomes a very important square for black. The knight settles there. Black also has the move f5 after c5 d5. So white will soon have hanging pawns, pair of isolated pawns. So I have explained how to play against the hanging pawns in the last lesson. Black went with c6 in the game. The move nd7 is bit worse because of c bf6. Now see, knight cannot take, queen takes allows e5 or even the move ed5. After e5, see, white has a very interesting plan. Queen e6 so that the knight is supported. White goes ne2. Now the knight is heading to cf4. After castle, there is the very good move h4. c6 protecting the knight and now see g4 controlling the f5 square so that knight f4 is dangerous. So after b5 qd1, very strange position. See, it looks like white's own king is on f1, he is pushing the pawns there, but see, the king is so safe. Meanwhile the black queen is struggling for space. Threat is nf4, sending the queen back to e8, not trapping, and then white can go rook a2, rook g2 and g5. So I think here white is somewhat better and the attack can become really dangerous. Black played c6, I think not a great move. qd7 would have been better as I said. bh4, d takes c4, another risky choice, but the problem is that white is already threatening e5. What to do? Here black has an idea actually. If f takes c4, there is a very strange looking line. Black just plays g5 bg3, knight takes c4, not fearing re1. See, usually what would happen? Such a knight will be lost, black is behind in development, black's king is in the center, but still see after qd5, it is black who is doing well. The reason being, the e4 knight stands on its own, qc2 just allows c, either qc4 check or f5, and if nf3 then black just castles, and then the b8 knight comes from d7 to f6. So black just escapes on time, that will just keep black a pawn up, he will be clearly better. Very strange, but black is better. So white goes with re1, powerful move, and now we see the impact. White is not in any hurry to grab e4, he will just pile up on e4 with see ne2 ng3. This is a deadly plan. Knight heading from e2 to g3, and then fe4 and ne4 both are on the cards. If black goes g5, then where will his king go? Soon black has to play g5. He cannot keep the position as it is. So g5, bishop f2, queen e7 supporting e4, and now comes ne2 as planned. Knight is heading to g3 as I said. Black went b5 so that he can move his b8 knight, queen c2, queen takes a3. I think by this point black realized it's a bad game. That is why such a risky move at this point. The problem is, what would black do here? See, if he plays nd7, then just ng3 and e4 is there. If he plays short castle, there is the break h4, which would win on the spot. So black says, okay, well, I will take material and let white prove. So queen a3, h4, good move, and now see, we are forcing black to play gh. Why? If g4, then comes fe4, a5, knight f4. See the point. White is allowing black to push his pawns on the queen side, and after a4, the deadly move e5. Black tries to keep the center closed, but see, knight d5, knight d5, cd, e6, and it's game over. See the dangerous threats. First threat is ef, kf7, queen f5 check. Secondly, if black castles, then ef7, king f7, and there is qh7, which would win on the spot. So you can imagine the position has already become very difficult for black. So h4 cannot be met by g4 basically. So g takes h4, and now bishop h4, knight on f6 is attacked, and what would black do now? Serious troubles, only move nd7 perhaps, and now see knight g3. White got all that he wanted, and see his development is getting converted into an initiative. Black plays castle, risky move no doubt, but see he is trying for one very interesting idea, knight e4, and she sacrifices the piece because now see it's already too late. There is no scope for moves like ne4 here. Ne4 just allows queen e4 when see d8 and c6 both hang. So rook e8, and why is he giving this piece on f6? The point is that after nf6, nf6, bf6, re1, ke1, black sees a slight scope of play in the line, queen a1, forcing qd1. See, otherwise h1 hangs, and after qd1, rook e8 check, kf2, there is qb2 check. Setting a small trap. If kg3, then see rook g8 wins. So king has to be down on f1, and see queen c3. White didn't like this position as much as what he got in the game. In the game he converted the position in a different manner. Here also white is better. White has to find the move bishop e5, because after bishop e5, see there is no f6, and the king is feeling safe on f1. There is the threat of rh6, but this looks more risky. See the move made by white. White simply ignores black's idea and plays kf2. What is the point? He is not taking the piece, and in fact he is ready to be pawned out. So this is how the strong masters, they convert their material into gain of time. Means he will give up the pawn here, and the time which black will spend to defend the rook on d8 by playing f6, that white will use to mobilize his rooks and attack the black king. See how? After ne4, fe4, see f6 forced, and now ra1. See, two temples are gained instantly. Queen moves back and rook a7. There are two deadly threats here. One is see bg3, and other is queen a2. And many consider rook ha1 as a threat too. That is why black had seen the move qe4, I believe. Look at the line kb8, fascinating one. Just queen a2, the queen enters. And now if queen e4 in search of play, it's too late. bg3 check, only move knight e5 and see the tactic. Rook and queen both invade, there is a forced mate. So be5, fe, rook check, kc7, queen check, kd6, rh6, it's game over. kd5 allows qc5 mate and re6 allows rook d8 checkmate. So black tries queen e4, but see here too, first queen takes queen, rook takes, try to calculate from here, it's white to play and win. Rook a8, kc7 allows bg3. So basically black is forced to go nb8 and now see bg3. That b8 knight is getting trapped, or else the king will come into the mating net. See, only move kb7 and rook ha1, multiple threats. You can see rook a7 is a major threat, rook 8 a7. So see, after rook c8, rook 8 a7, kb6, and white wants rook a6 checkmate, b8 knight is the defender, so just bb8. It's game over basically. Black just tries b4. Now b8 is hanging and c3 hangs. So see, good move bd6, b takes c3. How would you finish off the game? Of course, white saw bc5 check, ab5, and rook a4. There is no defense to rook a5 checkmate, so black resigned. So incredible game. It was Mikhail Botvinnik white versus Mikhail Tal. I hope you found this lesson useful and instructive. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.